You've been grinding non-stop, juggling impossible expectations, answering to LPs, chasing deals, wrangling portfolio chaos, all while feeling stretched too thin, wondering if this is really the future you imagined. If you're a general partner, you know the drill. Looking perfect, sounding smarter than you feel, polishing that pitch, wearing 50 hats at once. The pressure's relentless. Everyone expects you to be an oracle, a leader, a relentless hunter for the next unicorn. But here's the brutal truth nobody wants to say out loud. The role of a GP, as it's been handed down, is breaking you. It's burning out your best ideas, your passion, your soul. And it's never been more urgent to rethink what it really means to be a general partner. Think about it. For decades, the GP was the undisputed king of the mountain, gatekeeper of capital, the decision-making judge, the sole architect of success. But the world you face today, it's not the world from 10, 15 years ago. Startups aren't waiting for gatekeepers anymore. The pace of innovation is so dizzying, it leaves even the smartest minds gasping. Because the old model asks so much of you: constant deal flow, deep operational involvement, relentless fundraising, all at the price of your mental health, your vision, your clarity. You're expected to be everywhere at once, solve every problem in every portfolio company, be the shining star at every pitch meeting, and somehow still be that strategic mastermind steering the entire fund. It's unsustainable, and the smartest VCs out there have woken up to that fact. So why are top VCs now reconsidering the GP role? Because they see the same traps, the same dead ends, the same exhausting game with diminishing returns. Because they know the old ways don't scale humanly. Because they're waking up to something huge, the power of being less, but better. Focusing on what actually moves the needle, instead of everything that just burns time and energy. That's what this moment is about. Not more hustle, not louder noise, but smarter, leaner, sharper impact. Here's the core problem. You don't have infinite time, infinite attention, or infinite sanity. The GP role abuses those limits like it's got an endless supply. You're spread so thin, your best instincts get buried beneath the noise. You lose sight of the big picture, the bold moves, the rare opportunities that actually change trajectories. Instead, you survive in reactive mode, firefighting deals, managing small dramas, chasing metrics instead of meaning. That's killing your edge, killing your ability to be the force that really moves markets and builds legacies, because you're stuck in the weeds, and everyone pretends it's just part of the job. It's not. It's a broken script. What if the secret wasn't to do more? What if the secret was to do dramatically less, but in a way that supercharges your impact? That's what top firms are realizing. They're redesigning the GP role so it's not a catch-all burden, but a brutal filter. A role bound by ruthless focus and deep leverage. They say no to everything that doesn't spark fire in their gut. They build small, fierce networks where every relationship is a true force multiplier. They stop trying to carry every problem themselves and start orchestrating real collaborative power, bringing in specialists and operators who own the details. They let go of the old illusions that a GP is everything to everyone. Instead, they become masters of the few things that only they can do. Imagine this shift. Instead of drowning in email chains and endless meetings, you carve out sacred space for pure strategic thinking, for spotting the boldest trends before anyone else. Instead of being the yes man or deal flow machine, you become a magnet for the right people and ideas, because your time and attention aren't taken for granted anymore. You build a team that traces your vision without you micromanaging. You develop a network of trusted partners where every call, every touch point expands your power instead of drains it. the best VCs aren't just raising capital. They're raising the entire ecosystem around them. That's what liberation looks like. This is scary for a lot of GPs. It means saying goodbye to old habit patterns, giving up the role as the sole authority. It means trusting others more than ever, admitting you can't do it all, embracing vulnerability as a strength. But it's the only way out. This rethink of the GP role isn't just a tweak, it's a revolution. One that frees you from the tyranny of being everything in every moment. One that turns your role into a powerful strategic lever instead of a crushing obligation. One professional secret you won't hear publicly discussed. The greatest GPs wield their power not in isolation, but through a network that is as rare as it is lethal. They reject the crowd. They reject broad, shallow connections and chase deep, purposeful alignment with a handful of radicals who see the world like they do. These are people who question everything, who refuse the easy lies, who burn with that same fire you have. It's here, in this select ecosystem, where real power sparks, where the misunderstood find understanding, the misaligned find their allies, and the rare find home. Because the world doesn't reward exceptional individuals, it tries to silence them. Building this autonomous network is not a nice to have. It's survival. If you keep pushing the same old ways, you risk burning out. But if you lean into this redefined GP model, you reclaim your most precious asset, your will, your fire, your ability to see beyond the noise. You stop being trapped by the system. You become the system breaker, the architect of a new kind of venture capital, where freedom isn't just a slogan, but a lived reality, where your work is about unleashing brilliance, not taming chaos. Here's how you start. First, get ruthless with your focus. Dissect your calendar like a surgeon. Cut everything that does not generate massive, disproportionate return on your energy and time. Block out days for deep, uninterrupted thinking about trends, vision, and strategy. That's where your real edge lives. Second, build partnerships, not networks. Seek out a few extraordinary individuals who challenge you, who complement your skills, and who can lift your game higher than you ever imagined. Quality, not quantity. Third, delegate like your life depends on it, because it literally does. Empower operators and specialists in your portfolio companies and your internal team. Let them own their space while you steer the ship. Fourth, embrace transparency and vulnerability as tools to build real trust. It's not weakness. It's what will make you unstoppable. Hear this loud and clear. The future GP is not the tireless deal warrior. It's the sovereign leader who commands from vision, leverage, and aligned collaboration. That's the only way forward when every second counts and every mistake is expensive. If there's one final truth that echoes through the halls of top firms rethinking the GP role, it's this. The role isn't defined by the system anymore. It's defined by you. Not by what you're told to do, but by what you're willing to create. Your mission is to liberate yourself first, then the entire ecosystem. Once you free your own mind and role from outdated, suffocating rules, you become the force that remakes the game entirely. Because power lies not in compliance or conformity, it lives in radical reinvention, brutal clarity, and fierce connection. The old world tried to cage you with labels and limits. The new wave breaks those cages, builds new ones only if they serve your highest ambitions, and destroys everything else. So ask yourself, are you ready to burn the rulebook, to trust your instincts over the noise, to build a lean, ruthless role that launches not just deals, but legacies? The GP role you cling to is a fossil, the one you must invent, a role defined by sovereignty, aligned power, and relentless purpose, is already waiting in the wings. The question is, will you claim it?